Gavi Forest Village in Pathanamthitta district of the Indian state of Kerala is accessible via road from either Pathanamthitta or Vandipuri. The road to Gavi itself is a treat, especially for the wildlife enthusiasts. In fact, a drive on this road may reflect before the traveler a charming charm of the wild population of the Periyar Tiger Reserve. But try to be a bit slow while driving here, for wildlife crossing the road before speeding vehicles are both priceless and fragile. From thick evergreen forest vegetation to leaf-shedding deciduous trees to bamboo groves to lush grasslands, Gavi has it all. Gavi's evergreen forests are abundant with wildlife including the tiger, elephants, leopards, bears, Indian Gaur, sambar, barking, and mouse deers, lion-tailed macaque, Nilgiri langur, Nilgiri marten, Malabar giant squirrel, and more than 250 species of birds. Tomorrow we set out on the trail of the Indian Gaur. That calls for some artist trekking. Energy levels needs to be optimized. This is my tonic. May I call it Gavi mocktail? Passion fruit concentrate mixed with honey from Gavi farmers and cool and pristine forest stream water. Half concentrate, half water is the right blend, I assume. Cheers for tomorrow's fruitful trekking. This is the magnificent expanse of Gavi. See the verdant sea meet the blue horizon. Howling wind and bird tweets simply complement the art. With all these, Gavi is definitely one of the most prestigious bastions of the Great Ghats, if not the most prestigious one. This is the wilderness of Gavi. Now, I am here to tell you an interesting thing. Just watch here. Just watch this tree. Can you see a couple of claw marks here on the tree? Not just couple, maybe crisscross. See, here are a few, and here is a couple of big claw marks. These claw marks, the folk here say, are made by a leopard or many leopards, or a few leopards, I don't know. But they say these leopards, after catching their prey, maybe an unfortunate or ill-fated manjak or a sambadia, they come here, they finish the food and they come here and they clean the claws by scratching on the bark of this tree. So watch these claw marks closely. It's worth watching. These are little small vignettes of the forest. These are the claw marks. Now you got to see it a bit closer. This is a wild one. Yeah. What do I see here? Grassland here, grassland there, and in the sky, swallows flying like crazy. You know what? I'll tell you something. You see that grassland, you see that little bit of hillock there and grasslands. You know what? That is part of Shabarimala's famous
or maybe infamous grassland or Pullumen. When I say something about grassland, this grassland is famous for one thing, that the pilgrims that throng the Shabarimala premises during the pilgrimage time crowd here because they can have a better view of that ceremonial pyre. Then, something that I'm going to say about the infamous part is, some years back, maybe a couple of decades back, there was a stampede over there in which more than 100 pilgrims fell dead. This is the tragic part of that area, and that is called the famous or infamous grasslands. That is also then part of Gavi, and then the Periyar Tiger Reserve, and then Great Western Ghats. Did you see the grid here? Did you see the power line? In fact, this comes from the Shabarigiri power project of Kerala. This is the pride of Kerala. It's the second important power project after Idiki. You know something? This line feeds the entire Kottayam district with power. They get it from the Shabarigiri power project, flanked by some dams like Kakki, Anathodu, Muriyar, Gavi and Pamba, maybe Kochibamba. And then you know something, there you can see Shabarimala temple, the shrine. That is the Ayyappan shrine of Shabarimala there. From here I can see it vividly. I don't know if you can, because that part is a bit cloudy now. It's almost 5:30 and it is a bit dark here. A bit of misfortune for us. Don't worry, we'll get it next time. This is cardamom shrub, and in the wilderness too. Amazing. Cardamom seeds eaten by some birds, deposited here through their feces, and see, you get a whole lot of cardamom. Get a unofficial cardamom plantation inside the jungle, and see, this is the cardamom bean. Just watch this. You want to see it on the shrub? Just come over here. This is the cardamom beans. These are Sri Lankan descendants in Gavi. They came here, they migrated to here in late 1970s or 1980 earlier, the early part of 1980s. Now they are part of this place. These people are Sri Lankan descendants, but they are born and brought up in Gavi, so they are now very much Indian. And this is Mr. Narayan. He's a guide here. He's a professional guide, part of KFDC, and this is his village. This is also the village of Mr. Kalai Kumar, who is my guide right now. Just watch their village. Pretty village, right on the lap of the Western Ghats. What more you need?
Hi, Oscar.
This is the soul shop of Gavi. You get no other shops here. This is the only shop. This is a one-stop shop for the Gavi people here. But you get only small things here. You get something like biscuit or toffee, tea, delicious tea, fantastic tea. And the vendor, Mr. Tangapan, he came here as a laborer of the Gavi estate. And then, quite recently, maybe a couple of years back, he retired. And after that, he started this particular shop. So that's his story. And the gentleman next to me is a workers' leader over here. He is the leader of an important workers' union affiliated to an important party of India. So that's the news over here.
Last autumn, on a different spot in the Periyar Tiger Reserve, had I come across the carcass of a cow Gaur, a tiger killed. The tiger involvement was confirmed after examining the bite marks on the victim's cervix. The neck of the victim had definitely gone through a massive assault that simply severed its spine. Just watch that dislocated cervix. That's the power of the tiger, a clear example of a classic tiger kill. But if it was in case of a full-grown adult bull, the tiger would have had to strain to block the animal's windpipe to choke it to death. Then once the tiger kills its prey and eats its first meal, it simply lingers around afterwards to return at intervals to finish the meal within maybe a couple of weeks in case of a full-grown Gaur. Now here is more evidence to cement the tiger's theory, Pugmarkz of an adult tiger. Watch the digital pads and the massive metacarpal pad. As you know, the Pugmarkz of a tiger do not show claw marks since the animal keeps its claws retracted for the purpose of moving freely. That says the royal beast could be very much lurking around, keeping a close watch on me. Here we commence our trek on the trail of a herd of Gaur. The strong scent of an elephant says there must be a herd of elephants around. We must be conscious then, as elephants could be the most dangerous animals around here, particularly if they are having calves among them. For aspiring trekkers, before setting out on a trek along the hilly terrains, have a close watch over your blood pressure, glucose levels, particularly if you're diabetic, and your general health. Keep some water handy and not in a plastic container. Right there! What did I say? Here is a cow elephant. She was definitely having a siesta, and the commotion created by her presence has shaken her up. She doesn't look belligerent whatsoever, but isn't she a damsel for eyes to behold? Wow, wonderful. And there, watching us ascending the hill, is a small herd of sambar deer. Sambar deer is a staple meal of the tiger, by the way, and when it senses enemy presence, it lets out a mighty croak sound, sort of an alarm. But we don't experience it here as they silently fade off the other side of the hill. This is Lakshman, our guide in chief, and he's an experienced person around here. He knows a good lot about the wild animals and the nature of this part of the world. Now we are closing in on the Gaur herd. We already get the scent. Gaur is a big relative of the cow, being a bovine itself, and is the largest known wild cattle on the planet. In fact, they are bigger than bison, water buffalo, and the Cape buffalo. They are found in South Asia. They have a high ridge on their forehead. Between their horns and back has a ridge that is marked and raised with their body length. The males of the Gaur species are extremely muscular and powerful, able to generate enough power to be deadly to predators, humans, and other domestic cattle that are unfortunate enough to provoke them. Herds are typically led by the oldest female, while males are mostly nomads that wander in search of females. In the herd, the young are typically protected fiercely, as the large adult females will form a circle with heads and horns facing outwards to protect the young from possible attack by tigers. See how alert they are. They have already spotted us. These are portraits of the wild nature. Wildlife helps in maintaining the ecological balance of Earth. Every living thing is connected. If even just one organism becomes threatened or extinct, it has a domino effect on an entire ecosystem. It disrupts the food chain, sending shockwaves through the environment. The cow, the elephant, the tiger all form part of a force that helps the life forms, including man, survive better on this planet. Long live the cow, long live the tiger.